Hi, lovely people. I'm Debs. Welcome or welcome back to my channel, Raina Read Stuff. I am here in the book shack and I am doing a book tag on the back of a book tag that I've just done. So this one should be going up on Tuesday. Tag Tuesday. That's a good one. This is the Nightclub Tag. This was created by Brian Bell, who has a channel, BellTube, at Brian Bell 7. I was tagged by my good friend Pat at Book Chat with Pat. There are 12 questions. Let us start with number 1. Cocktail hour. Name a book that you think pairs perfectly with your favourite drink. Well, I drink pretty much exclusively black coffee, Diet Coke. I rarely drink alcohol. If I do, there are a variety of drinks I like. Gin and tonic, a nice mojito, red wine, sambuca, but I don't drink that much. I only ever drink when I fancy it, and I don't fancy it that often. So, we'll go with coffee. We're going to be very specific. This book is called The Devil's Cup. It's by Stuart Lee Allen, and Stuart Lee Allen tries to chase the journey of coffee from its roots in Ethiopia to discover how it spread around the world. And this is like a part history of coffee, part travel writing, part just very funny. As he goes from Ethiopia to Yemen, to Turkey and Austria, and ends up in the United States, following coffee's journey. It's not the easiest of journeys for him. He gets shipwrecked. Various misdemeanors happen. But it's very entertaining, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Question number 2. Name a book with a cover that immediately grabbed your attention like the bright lights in a club. The cover of this book is so unlike Bright Lights in a Club, you wouldn't believe it, but this really grabbed my attention. This is Colin Thubron, excellent travel writer, one of my favourites. It's called To a Mountain in Tibet, and it's another travel book. And the reason it grabbed my attention is, how could I not want to go there? How beautiful does it look? I like remote places, I really do, and I would love to go trekking around somewhere like this. I'm very jealous of Colin Thubron. To a Mountain in Tibet discusses his journey. In fact, he doesn't just go to, it's Mount Kailas, the most sacred of the world's mountains. He doesn't go to it, he goes round it. So he does go to it, but he walks around it as well. It's in the central Himalayas, and it is sacred to 1/5 of the population of the world. What I like about Colin Thubron's books is he incorporates very detailed descriptions of what he's seeing. He's very good at describing environments, but he combines that with history of the countries he's in, their culture, politics, art, philosophy, and I just find that a lovely combination. So, my picture's gone again with the prompts on. Number 3, what book did you have to put down because it wasn't letting you in? This is called The Bouncer. Well, this bouncer has bounced me out several times, and a lot of people will be really surprised, I think, because It's a very popular book. It's a very well thought of book. But it's William Golding's Lord of the Flies. I just can't get into it. I've tried several times. I must admit I haven't tried for the last few years. But I've tried several times to read it. And each time, it draws a complete blank with me. I don't know what it is. One day I'm going to read it. That day isn't today. Question number 4, the DJ's choice. What would you recommend as a perfect read for someone new to the fantasy genre? When I started reading fantasy, I don't actually read that much fantasy now. I used to when I was younger. So I started with The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, Tolkien's classics that everybody knows. I then moved on to things like Earthsea by Ursula Le Guin. And after that, I think it was Terry Pratchett's Discworld. So any of those, I think, I would recommend. Question number 5. Name a book that made you feel like you were part of a vibrant, glittering world. I think that has to be Jeeves and Wooster. P.G. Wodehouse remains one of my favourite authors. I like a wide variety of his books. I love P.G. Wodehouse's Jeeves and Wooster characters. It's a tongue-in-cheek look at a world that has disappeared, but it is vibrant, it is colourful, it's very wealthy, and it's very silly. They do the most preposterous things. This one is the one where there is a stolen cow creamer involved. Bertie has been asked to steal the cow creamer. I mean, we've got characters that pop up in each of these. Many Jeeves and Wooster books, but this one includes Gussie Fink-Nottle, Madeline Bassett, Old Pop Bassett, Stiffy Bing, the Reverend H.P. Stinker Pinker, and the 18th century cow creamer. And some aunts. There's always aunts. Dance Floor Diva. What book had you dancing with excitement from the first page to the last? That would have to be my first reading of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I don't think I've laughed so much right from the outset. Arthur Dent lying in front of a yellow digger and persuading the foreman to lie down instead of him, and that was just great. I don't know what order I did them in. I think I read it first. The radio series was absolutely superb, and then afterwards I saw the original television series. It just made me laugh from start to finish. It just, yeah, I just couldn't read it quick enough. Where am I? I appear to be on question 7. Which author would you invite to an exclusive book-themed party, and why? I want to invite Harper Lee. And the reason I want to invite Harper Lee is I want to know what the hell was going on in Go Set a Watchman. Is that what it's called? Go Set a Watchman? Now, I know she didn't publish this book. And I have heard or read or something that she didn't publish. This was the first book she wrote. And it wasn't published deliberately. She then went on to write To Kill a Mockingbird. And I'm hoping that's true, because it completely ruined, for a small time period, my view of Atticus Finch. And after reading it, I was furious. I mean, really furious. That wasn't the Atticus Finch that I'd held up as an example of a free-thinking man, a non-biased, non-racist man. That wasn't him. So I want to have words with Harper Lee. I want to find out what went on. Number 8. VIP entrance. Which book did you feel privileged to read before it became more wildly popular? This is a bit of a cheat. A, because I don't know that Ishmael Kadari is wildly popular. And B, because he was already wildly popular elsewhere but the English-speaking world. So I'm going with this. Ishmael Kadari, and particularly the book Broken April, which was the one that introduced me to him. I came across Ishmael Kadari a couple of decades ago. Sorry, that's my phone. And I'm not going to answer it. I came across Ishmael Kadari a couple of decades ago just before I was heading off to Albania. He is an Albanian author. He spent a lot of his life living in Paris. He actually died last week. No, the week before. He was in his 80s. It was recommended to me in a huge book of photographs of world travel. And this book was a Lonely Planet book. And on one column of the page, it suggested things to read, things to eat, things to drink, things to listen to immerse yourself in that country. The author it suggested to me was Ishmael Kadari. Wow, it's chucking it down with rain outside now. Broken April is about the canoe. It's it's code by which people in the mountains of Albania lived by. It's absolutely brilliant. I have read most of Ishmael Kadari's books now. There's a couple I haven't. I like his style of writing very much. I tend to they're the sorts of books I tend to read all in one go because I just can't put them down. So that was number 8. Number 9 is Dance Battle. Which two characters from different books would you like to see in a dance-off? I would like very much to see Matthew from True Grit dance off against one of the Bennett sisters from Pride and Prejudice. I think that would be fun. Now, number 10. What's a book you couldn't put down and ended up reading all night? This. 3 Hours by Rosamund Lupton. This is great. In the middle of Somerset, a county in England. It's quite rural. A school is shut down in the middle of a blizzard because it's under siege. And pupils and teachers barricade themselves in. Parents rush there to try and find out what's going on. And there is a hunt for the gunman. And a police psychiatry unit is called in. And the action takes place over 3 hours. I couldn't put that down. I thought it was wonderful. After party. Which book left you with a hangover, unable to start a new read immediately after? I don't know about a hangover, but you know when you read a book and you think it's brilliant and you close it and just sit there and look at it. I do that a lot with both ebooks and with physical books as well. And this one had that effect on me. It's called I Who Have Never Known Men. And I am just trying to find it. There was a picture on it. Here we go. Oh, it's by Jacqueline Hartman. And it's a really unusual story. A young girl wakes up in a cage with lots of other women who are in a cage. They have no idea how they got there. This young girl, all of the other occupants of this cage are adult women. It starts when this character is a young girl. She's the only child in there. There are no men in there other than guards who patrol around the outside of their cage and supply food. And then one day, an alarm goes off. All hell breaks loose. The guards disappear. The cage door is left open. And after a while of uncertainty, the women go and look and see where they've gone. They can't find the guards. They follow some stairs up to an open door and they come out in the outside world. They've been underground underneath a cabin. They can see no people. They can see no buildings. They can see no transport. Whoever was guarding them has just gone. And they don't come back. So these people are left to fend for themselves in this world. They don't know where they are. They've got no idea whether they're still on Earth. And I suppose this is a bit Lord of the Flies-ish in its premise. They have to form a community. And they have to learn how to survive. And they have to learn how to live securely and safely and find food and medicines and things like that. And this goes on for years. But this book is incredible. And after I'd finished it, I just sat and looked at it and thought about it and thought about how incredible it was. Final question. Late night conversations. Which book left you thinking deeply or wanting to discuss it with others late into the night? And that has to be At Night All Blood is Black by David Diop. This is a story about a Senegalese pair of friends who go to fight for France because they're part of the wider French community in the trenches of the First World War. And very soon one of them is killed, and the other decides to take revenge. And his slow descent from this young, happy, carefree Senegalese man to a dark, confused, hating, German-hating adult. It's just incredible. It charts his descent into a madness of grief that is so intense that even his own comrades are terrified of him. It's such a moving book. I could quite cheerfully have sat up all night talking about it with somebody. It's brilliant. If you haven't read it, read it. So, I think that was 12 questions, unless I missed some. I am going now. Can you hear the rain? It's absolutely bucketing it down. Glad I did my washing this morning. I am going to tag some people. I am going to tag Aaron Hook. I am going to tag Al at Big Hard Books and Classics, although Pat might already have tagged him. I am going to tag who else was I going to tag? Oh, Crystal at Fibre Artsy. And James at Quake and Curious Volumes. So that's it. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you want to do this tag, please feel free. I know Pat's trying to get it spread as far and wide as possible because she thinks it's really good fun. And so did I. So I shall be back at some point later in the week, and I hope to see you then. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.